Hello, I'm Peter Towers for ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP. Welcome to Accountants Minute. Accountants, reducing debtors days outstanding will assist your small medium enterprise clients to survive. 90% of small medium enterprise failures are caused through poor cash flow, says Kate Carnell, the Australian government's Small Business Family Business Ombudsman. Ms Carnell was commenting about debtors days outstanding after Australia had been awarded the dubious title of having the longest debtors days outstanding in the world. The survey was conducted in over 80 countries that awarded Australia this very unfortunate title. We believe that accountants have a real role to play in assisting your small medium enterprises to reduce debtors days outstanding, and in so doing rid Australia of this very unfortunate title. So where would you start? Well, in the first instance, we would recommend that you start with a detailed review of your client's current system, because our research has shown that unfortunately many small medium enterprises do not have an appropriate system for the control of their debtors. Within the ESS system there is a questionnaire to use whereby you can go through all aspects of debtors management to see where the problem areas are. So where would you start with a client in undertaking this task? I think you would start with the clients that have currently got a debtors days outstanding exceeding 40 days, or the ones that had bad debt write-offs of more than $10,000 in the last financial year, or a client who has received a preferential payment claim from a liquidator. That'd be a broad enough group to start this review with, I think. And then you'd have the conversation with the client and you'd be able to start that debtors review. And part of the review would be to look at the application process. Do your clients give a would-be credit customer a form to complete? And do they then check that form and make contact with the referees to check as to the credibility of this new customer? Or is your client just going to obtain someone else's problem because they haven't been paying their debt? Once all those checks have been concluded, the system, we believe, should be that your client then issues a welcome to new client letter. This is a golden opportunity to give a public relations type message to this new customer, but also to take the opportunity to confirm the terms of trade, the credit limit, and to make particular note on any detailed requirements that your new customer wants submitted with the tax invoices. This could be a weighbridge certificate, could be a health certificate, could be any type of document, but if your client's customer has indicated they want that, then the client should be making sure that the system ensures that that additional documentation is attached with the tax invoice, because otherwise your client will not get paid on time. Attached to the welcome to new client letter should be the terms of trade agreement and the retention of title agreement. Both of these documents are very important when it comes to the Personal Property Securities Register. And that's the next step in your due diligence review, I would suggest. What do your clients currently do about the Personal Property Securities Register? Now today I'm really only talking about debtors, but there's been an enormous amount of problems with the Personal Property Securities Register. Well over $300 million has been lost by Australian businesses, small and large, mainly through ignorance of how the PPSR operates. And in the credit sales debtors area, one of the huge problems is receiving liquidators' preferential payment claims. By adopting a policy that your client is registering customers on the PPSR, they can significantly reduce the chances of a liquidator being successful with a preferential payment claim letter against them. The next part of your systems review should be to make sure that tax invoices are being prepared and dispatched promptly to your client's customers, and that on the tax invoice in very bold print should be the date for payment of that invoice. This is one of the key strategies that businesses need to adopt if we are going to get debtors days outstanding below being the world's longest. Individual invoices should have the due date on each of them so that the customer knows that they have to pay that invoice by that date. We then move into debtor collection, and this is an area where some of your clients would spend a lot of time, but no one wants to do it. It's not a nice job, and this is one of the reasons debtors days outstanding blow out. We have linked with IODM, a specialist company in Melbourne who have developed the IODM Accounts Receivable Management Hub to assist businesses and also accountancy practices to significantly reduce debtors days outstanding. So this system works on a series of SMS messages whereby a message goes to the customer 4 or 5 days before the due date for an individual invoice, telling that customer that there's an invoice due for payment in 4 or 5 days' time. And then if the customer doesn't make payment on time, there's a series of prompt SM messages that follow. And this all happens automatically. No one's got to do anything about it other than to have authorised the strategy in the beginning of the relationship with IODM. And in that way, debtors days outstanding is significantly reduced. Then at the end of the month, there's some tasks that need to be undertaken urgently. The debtors aged analysis, so that your client has a report which is showing total amount owing in debtors, what's the 30, 60, 90 day amounts. And it's those amounts in 60 and 90 days that your client needs to know that they have a system that's going to swing into action. Once that report's prepared, they can calculate the debtors days outstanding. And hopefully your clients will see this figure reducing from, if they are on the average, 56.4 days down to 50 days, then 45 days, and hopefully in a few months' time back around 40 days. And if they can, back to 30 days. But we've got to get off this average of 56.4 days, because that implies there are many clients of accountants all around Australia who have got debtors days outstanding significantly higher. Indeed, even some of the accountancy businesses around Australia, according to benchmarking.com's report for the accountants in 2016, have debtors days outstanding in excess of 56.4 days. And the other document at the end of the month is the debtors reduction strategy document, whereby individual debtors are highlighted, that specific follow-up action needs to be taken with phone calls, visits, stopping supply until a substantial amount of payment is received to reduce their debt and their debtors days outstanding back into more manageable figures. The system also includes a debtors manual whereby you are able to utilise the template to go through and to customise a written debtors systems manual for your client. And this will significantly assist the person who I call the poor person in most organisations, who has the responsibility of administering debtors. Just think about it. How many of your clients have got a written debtors system that is handed on to the new person? Is that new person appropriately trained in how a debtors system functions? Not in many cases, not on my observations. A lot of times it's word of mouth, it's slips of paper that are pinned on the front of a computer or a pin board or something else in the office. That's no way to run a system if you are serious about significantly reducing debtors days outstanding. So the product package that we are offering to you is a debtors management review system combined with the IODM Debtors Collection and the SME Debtors Systems Manual. And we believe that this combination of ESS BIZTOOLS and IODM will assist you to work with your clients to rid Australia of this dubious title of the longest debtors days outstanding in the world. Will you join us in this campaign? Next week, on Wednesday the 29th of March at 11:30 AEST, 12:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, we are presenting a joint webinar with the Managing Director of IODM, Damien Arena, titled Let's Rid Australia of the Worst Debtors Days Outstanding title. And we are going to launch a specific product range at a discount price to encourage accountants and advisors to take up this campaign. Let's get rid of this title. I'd far rather win a World Cup or win the Ashes than win the title of having the longest debtors days outstanding in the world. You can log on to our website www.essbiztools or www.essbasip to obtain a copy of our special Debtors Alert article this month. Please do so. And whilst you're there, you could also obtain a copy of our special potential fee slippage and identifying new opportunities within your business. This is a form we produced a couple of weeks ago, and it's proving very popular to many accountants around Australia as a tool to assist you to identify where you might be suspect to changing attitudes to taxation returns, people lodging direct with the ATO, and where in your firm you may have opportunities to offer a new range of services. If you would like to access a copy of last week's video or the webinars we produced last week, you can also do that when you're on our website www.essbiztools.com.au. How about taking up the challenge to help Australian small medium enterprises get rid of this very unfortunate title of the world's longest debtors days outstanding? We look forward to working with you on this task. Have a great day. Goodbye.